Here we go. YouTube, hello there. It is morning where I live, but it could be somewhere else and other times for other people. But I just woke up. My voice is a little bit raspy, but we got a VOD review here on our hands. This game is in Gold Elo, I believe Gold 4 to be specific. What was the issue that you ran into in this game, would you say?
So at one point I had no idea what to do because none of my camps were up. And also you will see the first clear of this game is really weird and the enemy Jax invades my blue for some reason. I don't know. You will see what I mean.
Okay.
It's just a really, really weird game.
All right, awesome. Games like this are the best to review because I always tell people if you don't know what you're supposed to be doing at any given point in time, I probably do. So that's when you ask me. So
Yeah, so I asked the top laner to ward the top pixel bush and he didn't, so they echoed it. And
Okay.
he placed a really weird ward in the river, but it's fine.
Oh no, this is okay. I mean, no, this ward is actually beneficial for you because right now you see what Jax or I guess no, I'm right. You see if anybody invades your jungle by any chance. Usually, if you ward Pixel Bush, a jungler that's going red Krugs and then you're blue, you won't know that they're doing it. So there's one
Yeah.
situation where you could be still surprised, but with that ward that he put down, that's actually pretty good for you. Bad
Okay.
for him though, because now he doesn't know if he's getting ganked. Alright, let's see what's going on here. Okay, fine. Generally, you go for this kind of clear if you are up against an aggressive jungler and you're really afraid of getting invaded. Otherwise, you want to take the Krugs first before going to Wraiths. And I'll tell you exactly why. To get level 6, you need both buffs, 2 full clears, and 2 more camps. Okay? So
Okay.
usually that is going to be a Scuttle Crab and your third buff. If like a game is just going standard and stuff and whatever, you're just farming, it's going to be a
Mhm.
Scuttle Crab and your third buff, and that gives you level 6. Now, if you skip your Krugs to start, you're basically delaying your level 6 because you will clear everything here. And then you probably take Scuttle Crab, and then you have one of two options. You gank, or you like go take his Krugs, maybe, but that's like risky. You have to be prepared to do that kind of stuff.
So what
And
I did in this game, I took his red buff actually
oh boy,
after the scatter. Yeah, I know it's really weird.
hold on. If you see him, okay, no, this is fine. So you see him bottom side. So I would
Yeah.
actually, I would have gone for his Wraiths because Wraiths are a lot easier to kill, and then you can also try to figure out the situation and go for his Krugs. I
Okay.
prefer doing that over red because red takes longer, and I would rather steal 2 camps and be kind of like sneaky.
So at this point, the enemy Jax like invaded my blue, which made no sense, kind of. I don't know. And this is like a really weird chase, and he gets away.
Oh no way, he gets away! What a legend!
Yeah. Yeah, that's so sad. I was so sad in that moment.
That's awesome. No, that's fucking amazing. All right, well you're still even on farm pretty much. Well, actually no, you're down 1 again because you didn't. Wait, who the hell took your Krugs? Oh my
The Amumu
god.
actually took it, yeah.
You're EU West, right?
Yes.
Goddamn EU Westerners. So annoying.
US is
But
crazy.
yeah, so here's the thing, right? Here's the thing with this path. Your rates are back up.
Yeah.
So if you had taken your Krugs first,
They
your
would be up
Krugs
too.
come back up. And so effectively what you're doing is you're taking both buffs, 3 camps, then 4 camps, and now you're down 3 camps. You have to find 3 camps. So just a Scuttle Crab and another buff, red buff, doesn't cut it anymore. So this is more of a defensive route that you can take. But I would not suggest it against something like an Amumu because there's no point in doing it. You're losing out on level 6 speed. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Let's see. You saw a fight going on in the bot lane, you responded to it, that's all fine. There's honestly no point in using your W on the wraiths. If you just walk over here and Q and then do the camp normally, you'll do it in the same amount of time because the big guy is not tanky enough on the wraiths. Everything else it does count, it doesn't matter, but the big guy is not tanky enough on it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's too bad these things in bot lane.
Okay, so this is like really red. Can you like go back a few seconds? Because at this point, like there were no camps up on my side, so I figured I'd just go like and see his raptors. But I saw him coming, and I was really afraid because I don't know. I'm a level 4, I think, Evelyn. So I just recoiled really randomly. I don't know. It's
no, this is great. This is exactly what you should have done. I would have actually even ran it into the tower, but that's me. I love doing that shit on stream. Because you know, you get executed, they can't kill you, and what death timer at level 4 is probably like 8 seconds anyway, so same thing. But yeah, no, this is great. If you don't have anything else to do, you can easily check one of his camps. His camp was up, you took it, great. Just keep in mind that suiciding is a way out of their jungle, and as an Evelyn, it's a very potent way out of their jungle because, you know, normally you can't really get out that fast. And if you go to execute and they're like chasing you and stuff, it's really good because they're also wasting time.
Yeah, so suicide is an option, I guess.
Only in video games, boys. Only in video games. Alright. Now, you recalled here, but what are we recalling for? Do we have runic echoes? I don't think you have runic echoes yet. You definitely should have taken an extra camp here. When recalling, you definitely have to like keep in mind what your buys are gonna be. See, this isn't as strong as taking one more camp and taking the echoes, because echoes. If you're choosing between Fiendish Codex and Sorc Shoes, it's actually the same amount of damage. It's just that the only downside of taking the boots early is you are delaying your runic echoes. And when you're looking at equal amounts of gold spent involving Sorc Shoes in the early game and involving runic echoes does like a hell of a lot more damage because it's just insane. Yeah. All the jungle items are insane. They cost like nothing. They give you 80 ability power and a lot of other stuff on top of this. So I think that this is a mistake. I think that ganking here is a mistake as well, because you don't have your ultimate. Bot lane's not so far ahead that you should feel confident about ganking them, and your top side is still up, so you're not in a position where you are like so powerful that you can just chain gank and stuff because you don't have your runic echoes. You're just on Sorc Shoes.
Yeah, here I just like KS a kill.
Great. Well, here you go. Probably should have checked his right there. Oh, maybe this guy is killable. No, this guy's killable. Hey, look at that. Oh boy, I think I found out where your issue is. You're not farming.
Oh man.
Yeah. Okay, alright, well, we gotta start a timer. It's 11 minutes. It's already been probably like 2 minutes, let's say, since you farmed. Let's see when you actually go for a camp.
Oh god. I'm afraid.
See, the thing about, while we watch this, I'll just talk about camps for a second. The thing about camps is, since you're this fed, and you haven't farmed in a while, taking your camps is going to be equal to like 2 kills or something like that. This one doesn't count. Oh, you didn't get it. Sick. Ow! Alright, fine. You did go for a camp, actually. But taking camps is super, super awesome.
Yeah, I just entered. Yeah, that was like really int.
It was, but I forgive you because I do it for dragons, for red dragons too. I like let
Yeah,
all the other dragons go, but red dragons just have a special
yeah,
place in my heart, and I'm
same.
just like, I gotta die with you, buddy. I can't let you go down alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me just, well, I guess let's play this in regular speed right now, and then I'll explain. So the jungle has 6 camps, right? If you take all those camps, how much gold do you get?
Should I like guess or
Yeah.
I? Mm, 700 gold.
All right, that's probably close to what it actually is. 700 gold. So that's kind of like 2 kills, right?
Yeah.
And the thing about getting that 700 gold when you're fed and you have your runic echoes and you have everything is going to take you about 45 seconds to a minute. So getting 2 kills in 45 seconds, oh boy. Oh no, we kind of just ran down there. All right, well,
Yeah.
that
I was actually just running it down.
one.
I just
Should've
like
ulted
ran
out.
to the lane and died.
Yeah, you can't be doing that versus CC. Obviously, they have a lot of it, so shouldn't do
Yeah.
that. Also, I mean, you should try to avoid 3v3s. Also, this fight started before you were in range, which is a bad thing. You probably want to try to spam ping, disengage, whatever. But yeah, I mean, just watching you know that you fucked up. And what you're supposed to do to not make these kind of fuck ups is just think about CC, try to predict what abilities are gonna be used. One more thing that can maybe tell you is don't stand next to your other players because they're gonna get spells thrown at them, and if you're standing next to them, you're probably gonna get hit by them too. So it might be more safe to just take the extra second and go like this. Did I finish talking about the CS? Right, so camps gain health and maybe resistances. I don't know about resistances. They definitely get health per level. So you know how camps have levels?
Yeah.
Okay. Every time they don't level up until you kill them. When they respawn, that's when they level up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So they will stay low level. Let's say you didn't take a camp for 4 minutes and you got like 5 kills or something like that. That's the best time to go farm because all those camps that are left up are super weak, and you go back and buy like a runic echoes and stuff, and now you do so much damage so you kill them in like 1 Q. And now you're getting 2 kills just off of that, you know? So definitely, even well fed, if there are no obvious kills like the ones that happen in the mid lane on Mumu and in the top lane on Jax, you go full clear. And you can maybe not even full clear. You could take like 3 camps, but take a majority of the camps. Weave in on recall somewhere around there too, depending on if you can buy, like if the gold that you're going to get will matter. So if the gold you get won't matter, just recall right away, spend your money, get your runic echoes, get your lich bane, whatever the hell you want, and then go and see if you have an obvious gank again. If there's no obvious gank, then go full clear. But yeah, definitely take the time to take your camps. Okay. The ulti was unnecessary, but that's okay.
Yeah, I was scared in that moment.
Yeah, I feel you.
And also I like chase her, but don't get anything out of it.
Oh, she's recalling behind the tower. Let's see if you could have done that better. You should have chased her though. Chasing her is the proper thing to do because she's a weak person. I think you probably used your W too early. Oh, okay. Positioning. You had the opportunity to stand here and you didn't take it.
Okay.
So check this out. Look at your orientation when you W her. You are like this. So now she flashes away and you're out of range. If you're standing right here in respect to her, what's she gonna do? Right? She flashes. Hello there. I'm in E range now. So always, if you have the choice, stand in the spot that they want to run towards. And I don't know how
Yeah.
much you watch my stream, but sometimes I literally even predict them jumping over walls. I'll be like standing here and they'll be like standing right here. I W them. They just run at the wall, flash over, and I'm like, okay, hi, how are
Yeah.
you? You know? So that's the kind of thing you're supposed to be thinking of. 100% you didn't get this kill only because you were standing in the wrong spot. Because if you land your Q, which you would, because you would have procced your charm with your E, and then the Q is free, you would have killed her. The Q, first projectile of the Q is 65% of the damage of the Q, and the Q is our most damage dealing ability, so definitely have to land that one. 2.0 scaling. Great stuff. Alright, what happened here? This is a non-stop Fiasaroni. Yeah, you're not really taking that, but like, okay, so the enemy Draven is just straight up pushing out into your lane with no towers, nothing, no jungle support. You can take the extra 2 seconds to get behind him and have a safe W on him, because here you're doing what you're doing here is what you're supposed to be doing in the early game, but against, let's see, what does this guy have? He has an Infinity Edge and a Phantom Dancer. He's a 2-item AD carry. You're just like Wing him and then letting him hit you a bunch. Oh, you missed your charm.
And also I missed the charm. Yeah, that's a reason
probably,
why.
oh, you didn't have ult. But still, like, you know, that against a person that's moderately strong, you should exercise caution. You should just go on his flank, W him, shadow him at maximum distance, and then right before the charm is ready, then you go in, because now he doesn't have enough time to kill you. You know, I could probably say that the reason you missed that charm is because you panicked, because you're in melee range of a Draven and he has damage.
Yeah, I definitely just panicked.
Yeah, so if you take it a more of a safe approach, that's funny. He's not dead, don't ult. No! He already used his jump, you had time to walk to your support.
And also I think I didn't have any idea what to do in that situation.
This situation?
Yeah, in this one, like, I'm just like standing around and hovering my teammates. I don't know what to do, like...
Right here, you're supposed to try to get behind him. So you try to stand right here, and as soon as he walks down like this, towards the wall, you walk behind him like this. Then you're standing right here, and when you see your AD carry coming, when your AD carry shows up, you ping him and you W him. You're standing right here, and your job is to charm him so that Nautilus has an easy time getting all his abilities off on him. Nautilus does not have his ultimate, but he does have his other stuff. When you see a target that's alone, you have to consider whether he has backup, and I think some of them were dead, so you can kind of holy crap, what the hell is this?
No, they're just like soloing Baron or doing Baron in like 10 seconds because of Zyra.
Oh my god, no, you see all the plans, don't reveal yourself, what are you doing?
Yeah, it was...
What, you left? No,
no, I don't even know. I have no idea what it is.
What are you doing?
Holy shit!
Look at this.
I have no idea what I was doing.
Okay, hold on. This is your vision. You just walk up and you're like, "Oh, that's odd. Oh, that's an awful lot of plants you got there. Oh, there's probably. Oh,
I didn't see the Zyra though.
Oh, okay, that's probably fine. I'm just gonna. Oh, there's a Zyra there too. Ah, that's fine. I'm just gonna heal up and go back to my jungle.
That makes no sense.
He just leave. Oh no. Like, oh, that's odd. That's a lot of plants attacking that. No. Alright, no, but in all seriousness, I understand you didn't have much of tools and stuff. Ooh. Yeah, oh no. Alright, so...
I actually sold that. I had 10 stacks on it, and that's why I actually built the Magi's.
Right.
But then I lost the stacks and I just sold it.
So, and I'll tell you why the Magi's was a really bad idea this game. It's because of CC, 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 CC. So, you know, if the enemy team is ahead, like you are ahead, right? But the enemy team is also
Yeah.
ahead. So you kind of have to count it as being even. You have to ask yourself, what are the chances that I die in a fight? Well, with that much CC, they're actually pretty decent. So you shouldn't go for
Yeah.
spellbind. Okay, whatever. I can't talk today.
Magi's.
Magi's, thank you. You should have gone for a spellbinder this game because spellbinder is the strongest early game item. The fact that you went Sheen also diminishes your damage, so you really are not going to be able to kill anyone anytime soon here. Sheen is a cooldown reduction item. It does 50, sorry, it does 87 damage, but realistically it does about 50 damage because they have armor.
Yeah.
And you have no armor penetration. So 10 ability power will do roughly like, 30 damage or so. So if you just, instead of getting a Sheen, got a revolver, for example, revolver does about 100 damage at level 11, and it has 40 ability power, so it's gonna do, I think 40 ability power does like 80 damage or 90 damage, I don't know. Anyway, you're gonna do like more than double the amount of damage with revolver than you do with Sheen. And if you're in such a bad game where you have to carry, you can't be buying Sheen. You can't be buying Magi. Well, you can be buying Magi's actually if you just want to risk it, but I would argue that it's not worth it here.
So is Lichbane still a bad item? Or like
No,
a
Lichbane is a
worse
good
item?
No. Lichbane is a good item, but you have to understand that Lichbane is a good item because it scales up. Lichbane is a good item for new Evelyn players too because they don't know when they can go kill people. And eventually they'll be able to kill people easier once they get 3 items and stuff. But realistically speaking, your chances of getting to 3 items this game are small. And you can't be paying for damage in the future. You have to be paying for damage right now in this game. 100%.
So would you say that I should like rather go for a spellbinders in that situation right now?
So
Or
Spellbinder is good. Revolver is okay. And if you really don't like Spellbinder, I would just suggest going for a Death Cap here because then at least your damage is coming out faster.
okay.
Something, then. You need something right now because with your build, you're not doing damage. You might as well be like a fresh Runic Echoes Evelyn, right? But you have to also think about it this way. The enemy has gotten items, levels, and time to become more tanky. Every level they get gives them 100 HP. You buying Sheen gives you 50 damage, right? So if they just level up once, you're already in the net negative. You have to always be thinking about how tanky people are versus how fed slash damage, how much damage I have slash how fed I am. So I have just like an internal kind of like sense of this thing of like, okay, I think I'm behind. Okay, I think I'm ahead, that kind of thing. But the way that it actually works is at level 3, you're kind of strong. You just got all your abilities. You have a CC. You might be able to kill somebody. As soon as you go to level 4 and everybody else goes to level 4, you level up your Q. That gives you 55 damage. They get a level, so they get 100 HP. Now you're missing about 45. Actually, probably more than that, actually, because of magic resistance. Now you're missing probably like 55 to 60 damage that you would have otherwise had on them if they were level 3. Level 5, same thing happens. You get 100 HP, you get like 45 damage effectively. And at level 6, they gets reversed because they get another 100 HP, but you get your ultimate, and your ultimate is going to be doing roughly like 320 damage base, so probably scaled down as like 250 or something like that. So they get 100 HP, but you get 250 damage on your ultimate. So now you're packing a punch. Level 6, you're ready to fight. You're like, yes, hell yes, I can kill somebody. Level 7, same thing. You get 55 damage, they get 100 HP. So you have to understand that there's this constant fight that's going on between you getting damage and them leveling up, getting HP items, getting MR items. And if you're spending your gold on something like a Sheen in a game where the enemy is accelerated, they have extra levels, they have extra gold, you're not going to be putting out enough damage to be killing them. If you go for early game options like Spellbinder, Revolver, and Death Cap potentially, the problem with Death Cap is that it takes a long time to come out. You can't be targeting tanks. This is potential. Nah, you're good. Good. Sorry. You're fine. Because he's completely alone on wards. That's okay. You have your entire team. If he was with other people, I would say that was a mistake. I've reviewed 2 other people. Wait, no, you are the person that was reviewing. Right. So that fight was less. Oh no. Oh boy.
I didn't expect that damage coming out of him, so that's why I just like randomly died. And he just gets a triple kill, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. He got Gunblade and Shiny Force. That makes sense. He has a little bit of MR to it. So let's see. Let's see about this fight here. You didn't buy.
I was like panicking because I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, he's taking our inhibitor. No, we have to stop him.
47 game. I'm just wondering if you could have actually killed him if you had a real build. No, you couldn't. Counter-Strike is just too strong. He's too strong against you. So, I don't know if you know this, but his Counter-Strike ability reduces AoE damage.
Yeah, I know that.
And you know his ultimate gives him magic resistance. So basically, all of our abilities are AoE abilities, except for the first part of Q. So, and the debuff, I guess. So he's just way too tanky. You can't go in and charm him using your E, by the way, because if he uses Counter-Strike fast, then you don't do any damage with your E, and that's really, really bad. So you need to try to proc it with your Q. And if he uses his Counter-Strike right before you proc it with your Q, then you back up and let Counter-Strike expire and then try to fight afterwards, but you can't be you can't be challenging his Counter-Strike like that. That's the biggest problem that you that's the biggest mistake that you made in that fight. Oh, okay, you get surrendered.
Yeah.
Let's see. Early game you did fine. Your pathing early game was fine. Oh right, except for the not
Krugs.
taking Krugs. That isn't necessary to do.
Okay.
Then at level 6, what did you do exactly at level 6? I forgot to really check that because that's a really, really crucial, important part of everyone's gameplay. Oh boy, you're only level 4. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I was like really behind in level in the first couple minutes.
Did you die? No. Okay.
No,
you're
I
6.
didn't.
Where are you? Oh, there. When did you hit 6? Oh, you got it off the lane? That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it off the Draven, actually. Okay. Alright, so I guess we can't look at a level 6 at this point because generally you're level 6 on a camp and then you have to make a decision of where to gank, yada yada. Okay, so fine. Alright, so after that you got a bunch of kills. At that like early mid game kind of stage, the only problem that I had with what you were doing is you probably missed out on some camps that you could have weaved in. You chose to not go Runic Echoes, which I think was a really bad decision because you could have just taken one camp and gone Runic Echoes. Your build is just not equipped to handle the enemy team this game. But that's a whole other thing. Right. Okay. So, the biggest mistake that you probably did happened in mid late, like early late game, mid game. You weren't really positioning yourself properly when you were going for kills. You were kind of running at them when you had all of the opportunities several times during this game to take 5 seconds to get behind an enemy and make it so that your W was inescapable. Um, you did that. You kind of do that in every fight that I can remember. So against the
Okay.
Zyra, against the bot lane duo, and you know the 3v3 that happened here, the 2v2 that happened here, the Zyra here, the Jax here. You kind of don't really give yourself the best case scenario fight. You just go for the fight immediately. So the way that
Yeah.
fights are supposed to work with Evelyn is you have several different options. In the very early stages of the game, you can run at them, W smite them, stand on top of them, and then proc your charm with your E and kill them. And that is all fine. That's great, but it only works if they can't kill you in the 2.5 seconds that it takes to proc your charm. And that's something that you need to be thinking about right before you go in on a person is, do they have the damage yet? And early game, of course, they don't, because they're still a low level champion, whatever. It doesn't matter. You can take the punishment. You don't give a shit. It's more important to have an easy time proccing your E. But later on, you're really thinking more about, like, okay, where are they gonna run? Are there other enemies around that can help them out if I wait out the extra 2.5 seconds? Are they gonna escape if I wait out the extra 2.5 seconds and stuff? And for a lot of these fights, the answers were no, they won't escape. No, they don't have allies and stuff. So you should just take the safe fight. There's no, you're
Okay.
not under like a time constraint. They're not gonna leave. They're clearly bad. They're just pushing and stuff, you know.
Mm. Okay.
Uh, that we talked about going for tanks in the late game in the other game that we watched, and I don't think there's anything else in particular in this game. You didn't make it to late game in this game, so we don't have anything to look at in regard to that. I mean, you lose off of this fight, so that's it for that. Do you have any questions for me? You said that you didn't know what to do in a lot of the situations, right? So, what you were supposed to do is flank them and increase your chances of landing a W. What you're looking for is fights where a person is alone and you try to 1v1 them if they're not as strong as Jax was there. Or kind of like 3v2s, 4v 5v4s and stuff like that. You're waiting for the enemy team to make a mistake and then you immediately capitalize on it. But how do you immediately capitalize on it? You need to constantly position yourself in a location where you can start charming them and like checkmate them. They can't walk away from your charm as soon as you decide to charm them. Okay?
Yeah. I think I have a mindset where when I'm losing, I think like, oh my god, they are pushing our inhibitor. I have to stop them now. Like, I get extremely, I don't know, hyped up. Like, oh my god, guys, we have to stop them. Right now we're losing. Fuck. And then I just like int because of that instead of like,
right. It's true that you do have to stop them as soon as possible, but you have to be realistic about what you can and can't do.
yeah, and that's like,
Yeah, and
I'm not being realistic.
right. You can't just run at them. That's not. It's just making things worse. Get on the flank. Generally speaking, I think if you take the time to get on the flank, you will have the time to think about what you're doing, and then it'll be better. But that's the biggest thing for you. Get on their flank. Target their carries, and that will 100% improve your game like a lot.
So would you say that that it could be like a rule on Evelyn to only focus the carries or the squishy ones?
Hell
Like, could you make
yeah.
a rule out of? Okay.
Well, I told you as soon. Well, I told you a little while ago. As soon as like it hits mid game, as you're walking out of base, you press tab and you rank the opponents based on how difficult they are to kill,
Yeah.
and then you adhere to that list, to that mental list. If you're like going in on the Amumu is the only exception this game when he was next to Baron standing in a ward, because like you literally had a 4v1. I mean,
Yeah.
that can't go bad. Okay. But
Yes.
any other situation, you are generally going to let the tank or support go by for the opportunity to potentially kill one of their carries. And I'll tell you from personal experience, I have tried to kill supports, I have tried to kill tanks when they're like alone and stuff. It always goes badly. I always lose the game because of it, and I always like, you know, feel bad about it later. And it's never worth it. They don't matter. They really just don't matter. It's just the carries matter.
Okay. So generally speaking, I should.
Oh, I lost her. All right, boys. My computer is lagging up right now because I Alt F forward, and it doesn't like when I do that. Hopefully, this video is still recording. I don't know if it is or it isn't, but perhaps you guys enjoyed another tutorial, another VOD review. We had a couple of interesting things happen in this game. I don't know if perhaps I think the biggest thing that will help people here is if you guys are making some of the similar mistakes that this person is making, and you know, me going over how they should be playing and stuff might improve. I don't think that anything here is too revolutionary. Revolutionary? I don't know. But maybe it'll help you guys. Hopefully, it'll help you guys. Oh no. I really hope that I can close this. Oh boy. Oh, I did it. Sick. Uh-oh. All right, I salvaged it. I did it. Okay, that's it for this video. I'll see you guys on the stream or maybe in another video or something like that. You have a good time.